Hello and welcome back to another episode of A Weekly Waypoint. That was a bit more energy than usual. How are we feeling about that? Today we are playing Halo Infinite, and more specifically Halo Infinite Season 5. More specifically, one of the new maps in Halo Infinite Season 5, which looks absolutely gorgeous. I am back to playing it on my Xbox Series S. I don't remember if I recorded any Weekly Waypoints back when I was playing on PC, but just for reasons of space, to be perfectly honest, I don't really have any hard drive space to save up for Halo Infinite right now. So I was like, you know what? I only need Forza Motorsport on PC. It's running well enough. I don't really need it on console, so I deleted it on console and downloaded this at the behest of, well, not entirely at the behest of Reese actually, but at the recommendation of Reese. He was talking to me about how good Season 5 is apparently being received, and I've always liked Halo Infinite. I've never been one of those who are like, oh, this game's so shit, you know, like half the internet unfathomably was. So if people like Halo now, then that must mean Halo's really fucking good now. And yes it is. I mean, it was always kind of really fucking good, but, you know, public narrative, it's a funky thing, isn't it? Anyway, the new maps are amazing, and also I didn't play during Season 4, and I've been experiencing actually quite a few new maps. It seems like they've been working pretty hard on adding maps to this game, and it is delightful to see them. Plus, we've been doing racing games for a few weeks straight in the Weekly Waypoint now, so I thought maybe we'll you know, refresh the old gameplay side of things with some shooty tooties. This is the first time I've taken an extended break from Halo Infinite, and it's lovely to see the anti-FOMO Battle Pass mechanics really working. I came back into the game, and obviously they advertised a Season 5 Battle Pass to me, but they also said I could just swap back to the Season 3 Battle Pass if I wanted to and continue working my way through that. And the brilliant thing about that is that if I work through the Season 3 Battle Pass to level 100, I will have enough, you know, currency to buy the Season 5 Battle Pass without having used any real world money. So really, the idea of buying the latest Battle Pass is mostly for people who just want the latest thing right now. And I'm okay with that, or like for people who see stuff in the store and want to spend currency in the store and then don't have the currency for the Battle Pass itself. I am perfectly okay with that because I don't think I've ever been tempted by anything in the store, to be brutally honest. Honestly, I might just work my way through the Season 4 pass and then get to Season 5. Then again, I am tempted to jump straight to Season 5 because it's got some Halloween stuff. But then again, I'm probably not going to finish Season 3 before Halloween ends. But then again, I do like Halloween stuff all year round. Okay, I'm sorry. I will stop throwing then agains at you. I just love how for the patient-minded player like me, I know I will never have to really buy another Battle Pass with real money as long as they keep this up, and I think they will. I'm pretty confident that they will, and it doesn't feel like, you know, oh, I would love to get back into Halo Infinite, but if I don't have a Battle Pass, it's gonna feel a bit iffy, and then I don't really want to spend money on it right now. That's kind of how I feel about Fortnite right now, to be honest. I'm like, oh, I want to check out the new Fortnite stuff, or I guess the old Fortnite stuff at this point, but I don't want to, you know, be stuck with a free Battle Pass and not really wanting to spend money on a Battle Pass, etc, etc, etc. To be fair, Fortnite Battle Passes do also give you enough money to buy a new Fortnite Battle Pass, but their Battle Passes expire like any other Battle Pass that isn't a Halo one. Anyway, this week, or I guess last week, because this isn't really a gaming news show, so I don't release it at an appropriate day of the week, Super Mario Wonder and Spider-Man 2 both released, and I don't have a PS5, so I'm not buying Spider-Man 2 till it comes to PC in like a year or two. They haven't announced anything on that front, by the way, I'm just assuming. I still need to play Spider-Man Miles Morales as well, which is on PC, but I know that's a much shorter game. Listen, at some point I'll get around to playing Spider-Man Remastered and Spider-Man Miles Morales on PC, but I've just bought a Sony game on PC, okay? I'm still working my way through Ratchet & Clank. I say working my way through it like it's a chore, it's not, it's a fucking delight. But attention spans being what they are, I don't always play the thing that I've been wanting to play for years. I just played a RuneScape Halloween event forever instead. This is kind of why I'm talking about gaming news this week instead of what I've been playing. But yeah, Spider-Man 2 has released to critical acclaim, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder has released to critical acclaim, and for God's sake, what is happening this year? Why are they all bangers? How is anyone going to determine a game of the year in a couple of months? I'm honestly not, even with all of the hype it's getting, I'm not super drawn to Super Mario Bros. Wonder because I have new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, I almost said DS. And I've still got plenty of those levels to play through. And I know Super Mario Bros. Wonder is like a reinvention of the 2D Mario or whatever, and it's super successful in doing that. But I just have so many unfinished Mario games to play right now. Like, I bought the Super Mario 35-year 3D Anniversary Collection, which means I've not played through Super Mario Sunshine or Galaxy, which I both own on there. I've not played through Super Mario Bros. 3D World and Bowser's Fury, which I also own. There is so much Mario for me to play through, and every time I pick it up, I get distracted by something else, despite loving those games. So I am not going to buy Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Or at least that's my current... Like, I have absolutely no desire to buy that game right now, but I've yet to really see anyone play it. So I reserve a right to be tempted, but the plan is very much not to. Again, I'm kind of like out of Camp Nintendo anyway at the minute, so that's another factor of like playing games on a Switch. Still, I'm very happy for those who are interested in Super Mario Wonder, and I hope to see some YouTubers that I like to watch making content in that game. If anyone from Game Grumps secretly watches this channel, please play that game. Also, to talk about some news, since that's what we're doing today, that we probably could have talked about in last week's video, the Microsoft ABK merger finally closed, and the reason I'm bringing it up now is because I just remembered to go and listen to the official Xbox podcast where they had an interview with Mr. Phil Spencer himself, where he said all the kind of things you would expect him to say. One of the things, which was a little disappointing but understandable based on what he said, is that the Activision library likely isn't going to end up on Game Pass this year. So I can't wait for all of the people who don't keep up to date with news but instead like to spam angry tweets at corporations to be being like, where COD for the next 2 months. That being said, I am actually like excited to play Call of Duty. I'm not a huge Call of Duty person, but I played Call of Duty Black Ops back in the day when that was a relevant video game that was occurring, and I had a pretty damn fun time in multiplayer. I also used to watch a lot of CNANers, and he used to play a lot of Call of Duty. That was kind of his thing. I don't know what he's up to nowadays. I'm sure probably something else, but what he used to do is actually kind of what inspired the Weekly Waypoint in some ways. He used to talk about various things which were on his mind as post-commentary over Call of Duty gameplay footage. Usually he would be fucking cleaning up though and not not performing. I mean, these were some decent games I recorded, I think, but not performing quite like this. But yeah, anyone who watched YouTube back in the day when Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Black Ops were a big deal probably watched some YouTubers who just played those games. My general thinking when it comes to Call of Duty hitting Game Pass is I want to play for all of the campaigns, but I don't know where I'm going to start because I know that starting from the start isn't going to give me the experience I'm really after. So I'm thinking maybe I start with Modern Warfare 1 and work from there. Or I know people love World at War, so maybe I'll give World at War a shake. I don't really know. I also don't know what kind of shape the multiplayer lobbies are going to be in for when they hit Game Pass. I think I heard on the grapevine that they like revived some of the multiplayer functionalities for some of the older games recently. But you know, the hackers are always a thing in a Call of Duty multiplayer game that's more than a couple of years old, so I don't really know how fun that's going to be. But I also am excited to try out the newer Call of Duty multiplayer titles. I played I think I put out a video on it, like a short video maybe, but I played the open beta for the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, and it turns out that yeah, I still enjoy that multiplayer game type. The only thing I'm really not a fan of with Call of Duty is just I'm not really a fan of military themes, like modern military themes. I find them kind of boring, and when it comes to history, I prefer like ancient history or medieval history. I find the history of like World War II, it just gets done to death in school, so that's not really an aesthetic I'm interested in terms of like a game world. That being said, I did play some Call of Duty World War II when it was on PlayStation Plus back in the day, and I did enjoy that. I think I might have done a weekly waypoint or two in it, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I don't see myself ever buying a Call of Duty Battle Pass. Like, I don't know. I mean, I've heard that they've started adding some ridiculous things in the latest one. Like, apparently you can buy Lilith or some shit, which just makes absolutely no sense in the Call of Duty world. But, you know, if they start getting a little bit wackier like that, maybe it'll be interesting. But, like, it's a realistic aesthetic as well, so I don't really know. Speaking of Diablo, Diablo 4 Season 2 has also just released, and I may or may not give it a try. I've heard that they have reduced the XP rates needed for level 100 by 40%, which, if that was the case in the base game, my main character would have just about hit level 100. I think I leveled him up to level 60. I think that will be the saving grace of that game going forwards, because my god, I don't know what they were thinking. It was such a freaking grind that it turned that game from a 10 out of 10 to me to like... Season 1 came around and I just could not bring myself to touch it. And frustratingly, I used because I bought the Heroic Edition or whatever, I used my Battle Pass token on Season 1, and I didn't earn any levels in it, so I completely wasted my Heroic Edition besides being able to play a little bit early, which was not the only thing I bought it for. And I was kind of hoping they might recognize that people weren't happy with Season 1 and, you know, refund the Battle Pass to people or their token for it who only got like a level or two. But no, I checked. I have booted up Season 2, and I would have to buy the Battle Pass. And as I already said, in terms of Fortnite, FOMO mechanics unfortunately do tend to work on me. I very much do not feel like playing a game where I do not have access to a Battle Pass, and Battle Pass is the sole method of meta progression. And also, I just find the cosmetics in Diablo 4 Battle Pass is kind of meh. I think they fit the theme, or the aesthetic even, but I don't think the aesthetic is one that I'm crazy about. I love new Halo armors. I love new RuneScape cosmetics because it's like bright and almost cartoonish. But when it comes to and like Fortnite skins, obviously I love Fortnite skins, which are definitely bright and cartoonish. But when it comes to like a grim, dark, realistic looking fantasy world, I don't know that I care about those armor sets, especially not when they all look the same across the classes. They've done this twice now. Their big advertisement is showing all 5 classes side by side wearing the same set of armor, or like very barely different sets of armor, and I'm just like, I don't want that. I want 5 different sets of armor for the 5 different classes that kind of accentuate their class design. So my complicated relationship with Diablo 4 continues, but I do want to give Season 2 a shot. I just want to make sure I give it the time of day that it deserves, because right now I don't really feel like I have the time in my gaming library to give to it. You know, I'm still very much playing RuneScape and Forza Motorsport and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. And also, there's a new Josh Strife Hayes video out where he spent 100 hours in EverQuest 1, and that game looks old and difficult to handle, and I really want to poke my head in and have a look at it. That's right, everyone. I don't want to play Diablo 4 Season 2. I want to play EverQuest 1. No, you know me. I love dipping my toe into older MMOs, and I find it kind of fascinating. And even if I only spend one video in there, I might have to stop calling things Volume 1 because it gives an expectation of future volumes. I might just have to call it like Adventures in EverQuest, and then if there's a Volume 2, I'll start calling it Volumes after that. Then again, I did have plans to continue Guild Wars 2, and I still have plans to continue Guild Wars 2, but I think people may expect, like, oh, when's Volume 2 of Guild Wars 2 coming out? And it's not soon, because I burned out on that game pretty quickly. Speaking of the channel and videos which are soon to be releasing on the channel, tomorrow I have a surprise for you. If you do a little bit of detective work, you can probably quite easily work out what that surprise is, but there is an old series on this channel which I have not done in a very long time, which is a different style of video, and that's all I'm going to say about it. It's coming out tomorrow. It's a new entry in that series, and I had a really fun time recording it. Anyway, you know what I haven't done in a while? I haven't spoken about something that I really want but have no specific plans to actually acquire in a while, which is always really fun to do on the Weekly Waypoint, isn't it? And I've lately been thinking about the Big Finish audio productions of the 8th Doctor, specifically in Doctor Who, because if you don't know, there is an entire other world of Doctor Who media from a production company called Big Finish, which specialise in audio productions of the show. And it gets a bit muddly about whether it's specifically canon or not canon. We don't really care as much about that kind of stuff in Doctor Who as something like Star Wars. But if you don't know, the Eighth Doctor, Paul McGann, who only ever really got the movie and the really good Night of a Doctor mini episode and recently the appearance in the final 13th Doctor's episode, he has an entire run of adventures in audio, and I really want them, but my god, Big Finish audio dramas cost so much money, and there's like no subscription service to see them all on, and I'm still waiting for that day. I'm still waiting for a day when they go, hey, we've now got, you can subscribe to a year of Big Finish and access like 80% of our catalogue or something like that. And I know why they don't. It's because finances are difficult and actors are expensive. They've talked about this extensively in the past. It's not their fault as a production company. It's my fault as a consumer for expecting this from them. But man, I might have to look into spending some money on Big Finish audio dramas because I only ever hear really good things, and they've got tons of them. They've got like, you know, Fifth Doctor stuff. They've got recently they got some Ninth Doctor stuff with Christopher Eccleston finally coming back and reprising the role. They've got just all sorts, and I want to hear what the War Doctor stories are like. There's War Doctor stories, and I'm just so into Doctor Who right now, if you couldn't tell. I'm absolutely going to be diving into the back catalogue of classic Who episodes the second they hit iPlayer, and continuing that thoughts per episode classic Doctor Who series. And I just fuck it's probably because of all the hype leading up to the 60th anniversary, but fuck Doctor Who. Sometimes I think about all the extended universe fiction there is for Doctor Who, like the novels and stuff, and I just get overwhelmed with how much more Doctor Who there is for me to go and like read and listen to and experience. I actually have some stuff on Audible, some audiobooks that I need to continue listening to, but yeah, it's cool, it's exciting, it's a great time to be a Doctor Who fan, and I'm no doubt going to continue talking about it over the coming weekly waypoints. The one Big Finish audio drama production I have heard is they did this weird spin-off series in a parallel universe where the Daleks had kind of like overrun human civilization and there were no Time Lords or anything, and that was really fucking cool. I listened to that by importing the audio files into AudioSurf and playing it as AudioSurf levels, which was actually pretty fun to do. I kind of recommend doing that for anyone who has never considered that, which I assume is most people. It was a great way to keep my ADHD brain focused and listening. But anyway, this weekly waypoint I think was a little bit different, topically speaking. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week for something slightly spooky, maybe. Ooh, not that spooky, don't get excited.